Hi everybody, today we're going to look at Unit 2, Topic 3, Changes in Equilibrium. So equilibrium is where supply and demand meet, so that's what we're going to be looking at. We're going to be looking at the changes in equilibrium where supply and demand meet. And it's as easy as 1, 2, 3. 1, you need to look at what it was like before the change, so where the supply and demand met first. So you're going to draw supply and demand, and you're going to label the original equilibrium price and quantity. 2, you're going to look at the change. What shifted? Something had to change in order to change the equilibrium. So did the change affect supply or demand first? That's very important. You need to know which determinant caused the shift. So remember, for demand, it's merit. That's the acronym for remembering the 5 determinants of demand, or C-Tiger is what I like to use for supply. Then you're going to draw the increase or the decrease. Maybe there's an increase in demand or a decrease in demand, or an increase in supply or a decrease in supply. And then the third thing you need to do is look at it after the change. What changed afterwards? Label the new equilibrium, label the new place where supply and demand meet. Then you need to figure out what changed about the price. Did the price go up or did the price go down? You need to also look at the quantity. Did the quantity produced go up, or the quantity purchased go up or down? And let's practice. So here's we're gonna look at the change. We're gonna look at what it was like before the change. We're gonna look at the change, the supply and demand shift, and we're gonna identify the shifter. And third, we're gonna look after the change. What happened? What happened to the quantity? What happened to the price? So we're gonna look at hamburgers again. 5 different examples, and we'll do these one by one and talk about how shifts change equilibrium. So the first example is this: new grilling technology cuts production time in half. So here's supply and demand. This is price equilibrium and quantity equilibrium right here. This is the equilibrium point. This is the fair market price right now, but there's been a shift. Something happened. There's new technology. Well, the determinant there is technology, and that's going to shift the supply to the right, right? Now it's easier for suppliers to make burgers, and so they can produce more, they can increase their supply. So when the supply curve shifts to the right and demand doesn't move, what happens? Well, here's the new equilibrium point. This point right here is the new equilibrium point, and so the price has fallen from PE, price of equilibrium, to P1 right here, and the quantity has increased. So the quantity went from QE to Q1, quantity equilibrium to quantity 1. So in this situation, the the better technology shifted the supply curve to the right. The price went down and the quantity went up. All right, second example. Let's say the price of chicken sandwiches, which is a substitute for hamburgers, increases. So the price of a substitute goes up. That's going to increase the demand for burgers. That's the substitution effect. When the price of the substitutes goes up, people will demand more of the other thing. So all those people that were eating chicken sandwiches before, now they're starting to demand hamburgers, and the demand curve shifts to the right. So if the supply curve stays where it is and the demand curve shifts to the right, this is the new equilibrium right here. So the price went from PE to P1, it went up, and the quantity went up also. So quantity went from quantity equilibrium to quantity 1. So the price went up and the quantity went up due to that increase in demand, that shift in demand. All right, third example. Let's say the price of hamburgers falls from $3 to $1. Trick question. There was no shift. Remember, change in price does not shift the curve. It's just movement along the curve. So here's what happened, right? The price went from $3 to $1, right? So the price dropped. People are going to demand more, but suppliers are going to want to make less, right? So this is the quantity demanded, and this is the quantity supplied, and that's called a shortage. We want this many burgers, but they're only supplying this many burgers. All right, fourth one. Let's say the price for ground beef triples. The price of ground beef goes up. All right, well, the ground beef is an input into hamburgers, and that's going to shift the supply curve to the left. Right? It's more expensive to make burgers. People will supply less. The price goes up. The price goes from PE to P1. The price is more expensive now because beef is more expensive, and the quantity demanded is going to go down also. So the quantity the quantity is going to go from QE to Q1. So the price goes up and the quantity goes down. 5. Let's say human fingers are found in multiple burger restaurants. What's the determinant there? Well, that would be tastes and preferences. People are not going to want to eat burgers if they're associating with human fingers. And so the demand is going to shift drastically to the left. People are going to be grossed out by burgers. They're not going to want to eat as many at any price. And so the price is going to go down. The price is going to go from PE to P1. And the quantity demanded is going to go down also. So burgers are going to become less popular. The price will go down and the quantity will go down as well. All right, so those are shifts, but that's only shifting demand or supply. But what if demand and supply both shift? All right, let's say the demand for milk increased at the same time that the production technology improved. So demand shifts to the right and supply moves to the right. So what's going to happen to price and quantity in that situation? Well, first thing, very important, it's a good trick to know, the double shift rule. Whenever two curves shift at the same time, either price or quantity is going to be ambiguous. It's going to be indeterminate. So we'll know for sure either that the price has changed up or down, but we may not know what it did to the quantity, or we may know that the quantity went up, but we don't know what happened to the price. So whenever there's a double shift, one of those two things is going to be ambiguous. And if you check your notes, I made a little cheat sheet at the end for you to look to see what happens when all of these shifts occur. So let's say demand increases and supply increases. So let's say demand shifts to the right and supply shifts to the right. Well, this is the new equilibrium right here, right? So the old equilibrium was right here. Let's go back. That's the old equilibrium. The new equilibrium is here. Well, the quantity definitely went up, right? We can see that. But did the price go up? It's not determined. If the supply went way out here, the price would actually go down. If the supply only shifted to the right a little bit, the price might go up. So the price is actually indeterminate in this situation. We're not sure how much or if at all the price is gonna change. All right, so here's a good trick. Draw it out separately and then combine the results. So here's what I mean. So first, you have the initial equilibrium point right here, and then the supply increased. And so we know that the price went down and the quantity went up. But let's draw demand now. In this situation, demand shifted to the right and the price went up and the quantity went up. Well, in both situations, the quantity increased, but in this example, the price decreased, and in this example, the price increased. So in that situation, the price is indeterminate because it decreased here and it increased here, but the quantity increased in both situations. So in this situation, the price is indeterminate, but the quantity is definitely going to increase. Let's do another example. What if supply increases and demand falls? When in doubt, draw it out. So the supply increases, the supply went up, but the demand went down. So in this situation, the price went down from PE to P1, and the quantity went up from QE to Q1. In the demand example, the price went down from PE to P1, and the quantity went down also from QE to Q1. So in this situation, the price definitely went down. It decreased when the supply increased, and it decreased when the demand decreased. But the quantity increased when the supply went up, and it decreased when the demand went down. So in this example, the price definitely is going to decrease, but quantity, we're not sure. Here's another example. What if supply decreases and demand decreases? All right, supply shifts to the left. That makes the price go up and the quantity go down. Demand shifts to the left. The price goes down and the quantity goes down. See that? This is the old equilibrium. This is the new equilibrium. So again, here the price increases. Here the price decreases. In both situations, though, the quantity decreased. So quantity we know is going to decrease, but the price, that's indeterminate. That's it. I'll see you in class, and we'll do a lot more practice in the problem set.